Hi, I hope you had a great week. Today I'm going to be talking about the books I've read this week and if I recommend them to you or not. The first book I read this week was The Unmaking of June Farrow by Adrienne Young. Now, I thought I would like this book a whole lot, but unfortunately, it wasn't my favorite. In this book, June and her family has been cursed to go crazy. She saw her mom and her grandmother both lose their minds, her grandmother at the end of her life, and her mother as she was just born. Now, this curse, as she finds out, is the ability to kind of slip through time. And June finds herself living in two different times, and she has to decide which one is best for her. Now, I do like some aspects of this book, but I did find the time travel to be a bit jarring and the whole story not to be all that compelling. So, would I recommend this book? Probably not. The next book I read was Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabriella Zevin. And this book was everything, guys. I loved it. If you enjoy video game culture or if you know a gamer, then I think you're really going to love this. This book follows two video game designers as they meet each other in the early 80s and they play Mario and Oregon Trail and Duck Hunt together. They grow up separately as rivals and then become friends again in college and design a game called Ichigo. This game launches their career, and we get to watch them go from awkward teens all the way up into their 30s. This is a coming of age novel. It also discusses, of course, video games and the culture of video games, and it also is so beautifully written. I think you're going to love it. The next book I read this week was The Museum of Ordinary People by Mike Gale. So, in this book, a young woman has a quarter life crisis as she loses her mother and she's trying to figure out her life again. She always wanted to be a museum curator. In fact, she went to school and got her master's degree to be a museum curator. However, her mother got breast cancer and she had to take care of her, and therefore she goes home to take care of her mother, and she isn't able to pursue her field. And then she's given this chance to start this museum called the Museum of Ordinary People. And there's this man named Alex, and he helps her to curate this museum as well as a few other fun characters. However, I feel like this book should have been more about the museum and less about this woman and her quarter life crisis. Also, the man in the book plays a role in it, and it's kind of confusing to follow the plot and be engaged in it. So, while I liked the characters and I love the idea of a museum of ordinary people, this book just didn't get there for me. So, I again wouldn't recommend this one. So, the book you should definitely read for this week is Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. I am starting to read The Poppy War right now, so I have the first two books of The Poppy War, and I will talk about those next week as well as whatever else I read. Hope you're having a great week and happy reading.